Well, I just thought I'd do a quick update on the turmeric. I might include this in another video, but it's doing really well on its new planter, and it's flowering, which is really exciting. These are such a beautiful flower. I really enjoyed watching this flower last year, and I'm excited to see it going into flower again this year. I guess I also should mention those couple of horseradish that I got from my mom, from my aunt. I just stuck in here with it for lack of a better place. And the soil that came from the greenhouse that was used in here must have had more of the nasturtium seed in it, because we got lots of nasturtium volunteers all around. So that's kind of cool. And I think I saw another flower over here. Yeah. There we go. Flowering away. So, I just thought I'd share just a quick update. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. August 21st, 2019. Raspberries are really taking off well with the rains we've had. It's good propagation here. So I plan on propagating those out in this fall or early next spring. But what I really wanted to show was all the pollinators in the Japanese knotweed. Honeybees everywhere. And all kinds of other pollinators. Bumblebees, mason bees, all different colors and types of like mini bee species. But I really enjoy seeing the honeybees in these. I'm going to propagate these Japanese knotweed out quite a bit. They really are an excellent soil builder and amazing for the pollinators. I'm amazed the diversity of pollinators that come in here. Look at all that. Look at all these different insects. And this is just starting to get fully open now. Yeah, see, there's a wasp, some sort of wasp in there. There's another honeybee. The honeybees are really in it this year, being with the hives being so close. Just saw another kind of wasp go up in there. Yeah, see? That's a black and white one. The other one was like a brown colored wasp. What else I've seen here before? Bumblebees. Just every kind of pollinator. It's amazing. And like I said, these flowers are just opening now. In another couple of days, or maybe even a day, probably two, when these flowers get fully open, this bush will be buzzing from 50 feet away. You'll literally be able to hear this bush from that far away. Yeah, see, there's a pollinator I'm not familiar with. Bumblebee, I think, but a weird, weird looking one. Anyway, I just wanted to show the diversity of the pollinators in here. This plant is considered to be an invasive species here in New York, and there have been many attempts to eradicate it with limited and varying degrees of success. It was given to me, and I actually took the cutting in part because the root of this plant is good at helping fight Lyme co-infections. This is Falloponia japonica, or Japanese knotweed is the common name. And the root, if you dig the root up in the fall, has a high content of resveratrol, which kind of acts like an immune stimulant. It's kind of like adrenaline for the immune system, I guess you would say. Anyway, so I only took one little cutting of it. It was a little tiny plant like that, but I've let it grow, and it's propagated itself out into quite a mass. And I really enjoy seeing the pollinators in it, and so I let it go. At the family farm we had up in the Catskills when I was younger, the entire east branch of the Delaware River, which is our farm adjoined, was lined with this, and it was very beautiful, and it looked wonderful along the banks of that river. So I have good memories with it from that as well. Anyway, I think I've yammered on about Japanese knotweed enough. Let's go look at some other flowers and maybe have a peek at the bees. Ram pump still overflowing nicely. So I just thought I would stop by the beehives here quick. We've had sort of a stormy day on and off, thunderstorms and showers and such. Early this morning we had a very heavy thunderstorm roll through. So I came out here not really expecting the bees to be super active, but they're out foraging and bringing back all sorts of resources. I've seen pollen on a number of them, and I'm sure they're pulling nectar as well. So glad to see that they're staying active even with the unstable weather front we've got coming through at the moment. Alright, just thought I'd get a quick shot. We'll go take a look at some other stuff. So I guess I should mention I have multiple plantings of buckwheat in. This is all buckwheat here, 8 foot wide by 90 foot long. Just to fill this last block, I didn't think I was going to have time to finish planting any more vegetable stuff. It takes a lot more time to plant. So I just cover cropped it. It'll put a nice honey crop directly in front of the beehives here for late season. So I think that'll work out well. And we'll be building soil and all that sort of stuff, of course, and eradicating weeds by dominating with the buckwheat. Guess we'll just give you a shot of things in here. Tomatoes have a bit of a potassium deficiency, and I'm still waiting on a plant sap analysis test to come back. When that comes back, I'll be able to take better action on keeping their nutrition and health up. Those beefsteaks are cranking. Been having one of those every night in a sandwich. Really enjoying them. Started sharing a few around with some people, and they're enjoying them as well. So those are doing good. And I guess I'll just give a quick shot of the orange Hawaiian marigolds here and these other San Marzano Redorta tomatoes. They're all doing pretty well overall. Also, especially these Hawaiian orange marigolds, these things just blow up into flower once they get going. Of course, the foliar feeds help. Alright, let's go take a look at the buckwheat. Okay, so like I said, I have varying stages of buckwheat planted here. This is a strip here. If you recall from earlier season, if you were watching videos earlier in the season, this was chicken tractored, and it was also chicken tractored last year. So some soil fertility improvement has been done there. October 3rd, 2018. Just want to very briefly point out what an area looks like after you've chicken tractored it and it's had time to grow back in. I can see it here pretty definitively. I hope you can see it on the camera. But you can see that this strip between like right about here and the road edge up here is much denser and greener and thicker and lusher. And this is the strip where the chicken tractor ran earlier this season. And so you can see there's a big difference in a very short distance change here between the two different grass types, the thickness, the darkness, and the health and vigor of these plants. This is how you can really have an effect on soil with no tilling and no real heavy impact. Just bringing the chicken tractor through and letting them work the soil makes of course directly difference. After or at planting, along with planting, I did a feed of forage foliar feed and micro 5000 and PZ 1000 inoculants and biostimulants in with it to affect that first critical point of influence, the germination. Of course, that was also done over here. These were planted, I forget, 2 or 3 weeks ago maybe. Really amazing how fast these grow once they get first true leaf set out and get going, especially in a foliar feed program, of course. These have probably grown 6 inches in the past day or day and a half, and we're just opening flower now. We were opening a couple days ago, but not really fully open. So as these open, I'm going to be keeping my eye on these and see if the honeybees are in here working these. They may not be. They may find the other resources more attractive, but it doesn't hurt to have extra resources available for them. Anyway, I just thought I would show a quick shot of this and how well it sprung up, and also just to also demonstrate how well it controls weeds. You see how much of a heavy canopy this puts in, and the weeds really don't have a chance to compete. They've been shaded out and outgrown way beyond or way before the you know, way before they could really get up and get going. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is the other planting of sweet corn. That also has had foliar feeds and inoculants. Looks like that's starting to take off. We'll see how it does. I don't know if we'll make it before frost or not, but hopefully. And then of course the other sweet corn over here is all cranking along, as are the squash. And they're all through there. This is the double standard sweet corn. Actually, it looks like we might have some of that ripe to try now. So I may have to try one of those. I'm not super impressed with the performance of this. I may capture some seed from the better plants this year and try again next year, perhaps with slightly improved seed quality it would be better, or better seed selection, I don't know. But I'm still searching for an open pollinated heirloom variety of sweet corn that really performs well and doesn't get eaten by the woodchucks. I like that dwarf blue jewel sweet corn from Hudson Valley Seed Library I tried last year, but it's just too short. That dwarf version of it leaves the ears too close to the ground. And if you have woodchuck problems like I do, and you're surrounded by woods and woodchucks, it's really hard to keep them off it. Whereas this corn, it's a little bit taller, they tend not to find it or reach up to it so far. Anyway, buckwheat interspaced in between these as well. I think I mentioned that in the last video. And then of course we're pulling some fresh sweet corn off here, which I actually have to get in and harvest here in the next day or two. But yeah, so things are doing great. Having a good growth season. Getting good weather. We've got good timely rains. There's another delicata. And there's more in here. All over the place, actually. There's a pear there. And then where did I see one hanging? Last night, yeah. Hanging off of the corn there. Pretty good size one too. I think that's probably about 10 or 12 inches long. It's a monster. And then let's see, buckwheat here that I planted in here is also up, taken over. And the chickens, of course, are doing their thing. Okay, this has gone on longer than I planned for it to. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Hope you found this interesting and informative. Don't be afraid to comment or ask questions down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if that's your thing. Thanks for watching.